Welcome back. Thank you for attending, parents. This is a different time at the beginning of the school year. And so we're trying out new things. And as we try out new things, this is kind of how the way we're going as far as being able to be accessible to our parents. And so we're going to do things virtually for the foreseeable future. And so this is how we will be doing things. At the same thing as the students. The students are in the same kind of the same boat. They're kind of having to meet with their parents. And so this is where we're at right now. So my name is Mr. Alvarado. I'm Jesse Alvarado. I'm the GEARUP coordinator here at Kennedy High School. I'll kind of be leading this meeting, and so the way we like to lead meetings here at Kennedy High School is before we start a meeting, we like to share good things. So at least 3 good things around the room, anything that's going on in your family's life, anything that's going on in your life, your student's life. If somebody would like to share one thing, so we're looking for 3 things, if anybody would like to share.
Share 3 things that, I'm sorry, Mr. Alvarado, can you repeat that?
If you'd like to share one good thing that's happening in your life, in your family's life, in your child's life, that you would like to share.
I would say, I guess ever since this epidemic happened, I think it's caused our family to be much closer together. So it's a lot more family time.
Awesome. That's awesome.
Thank
Family
you.
time is always most important. Very good. Is anybody else? We're looking for 2 more to share.
Well, I know with us, our family is growing. I'll be having another one in a week.
Oh, wow. Congratulations. That's awesome. Do you know boy or girl?
It's a boy.
Awesome. I don't know if it adds to the good things, but I had a baby in June, early June. And so he's like 14 pounds and almost 3 months now. And now we're working on he's in his crib and he turns over by himself, and we're trying to stop that. So if anybody has any suggestions for that, please let me know. I think we could count that as the 3rd thing. So we'll go ahead and move forward. We'll try to respect everybody's time. Let's see. Okay, so the agenda for today, we will be talking with our GEARUP coordinators for Edgewood ISD, talking about just an overview again of what GEARUP does, some of the goals we have for this semester, some of the resources that we have available, and then we want to have some time at the end for questions. So I'm covering Natalie's Bitmoji. But these are our coordinators, our GEARUP coordinators for Edgewood ISD. Again, my name is Jesse Alvarado. I am the coordinator here at Kennedy High School. I've been in Edgewood since the students' 8th grade year. I had students at Brentwood Middle School. And so now we're here at Kennedy High School in our 10th grade year. I'm super excited. I enjoy this job a lot. I enjoy working with the students. And I'm happy that we have 2 new coordinators, and they'll go ahead and introduce themselves and talk a little bit about themselves.
Okay, I'll go next. Hi, my name is Natalie Hernandez, and I am the new GEARUP coordinator for the Fine Arts Academy. So just a little bit about me. I was born and raised in San Antonio. I'm a San Antonio native. I graduated college just in 2017, just a few years ago. I went to A&M in College Station, and I got my degree in sociology. And then after that, I actually worked at Memorial High School. So I was their college advisor, and I worked through a program called Advise Texas. And so I'm familiar with the district. My parents and my tias and my tios, they all went to high school. school before it was the Fine Arts Academy. So it's really cool being able to, work in a classroom that they probably sat in on when they were in high school and walk the halls that they walked. So I have really deep roots in Edgewood ISD, and I'm just happy to be back in the district. I really missed the high school environment, so really excited to be back.
My name is Stella Benavides. I'm your GEARUP coordinator here at Memorial High School. Actually, I've been a teacher. I've been in the classroom for 12 years, but frequently in the classroom, I was always talking about college and future plans with students. And so found out about this position and was really excited because this is my passion, talking about and planning out for students' futures. So I'm gonna have a lot of fun. I'm very excited. I've talked to some of your students already, just asking them how they're doing, and just hoping to kind of expose them to some of the schools, some of the things that they can do after graduation. My first year here in Edgewood, so it's kind of all exciting, and I know it's happening under kind of weird circumstances, but it'll be good. I've already, like I said, I've already kind of tried to reach out to as many as possible, and once they start filtering in, hopefully I'll be able to connect with them as well. So super excited, but yeah. And then Jesse, we do have us Ipsy. Willie's on here. I don't know if he wants to introduce himself as well.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, Willie.
Hi, everyone. I'm Willie. I work with Financial Aid and Family Engagement at UT Austin, and we happen to serve Edgewood ISD as one of our districts. Also, I've helped Edgewood ISD in the past with my coworker in another grant we had, so that's pretty cool. I'm familiar with the district. I'm familiar with the campuses as well, and I'm very excited to continue working with Edgewood and our families there. Thank you.
Thank you, Willie. So these are our coordinators for Edgewood ISD, and so going forward, since we're doing this virtual, we're kind of trying to include everybody, Memorial, Fine Arts, Kennedy, all together, all united as one district, because the information and resources we have is the same across the district. So whatever I can do here at Kennedy, Stella and Natalie are more than able to do as well. So, and if those are our emails also, if you need to reach us, you can reach us by text message, email, or to Microsoft Teams. So we're making sure that make ourselves accessible as we can. And then we're also on social media, which we'll share in a bit.
Or they could call down to the campus. If you feel more comfortable with a phone call, you could call to the campus and ask to be transferred to us as well. We're here.
Okay, I feel like this thing, I'm gonna make this small. Okay, so again, just an overview of GEARUP. GEARUP stands for Gaining Early Awareness and Readiness of Undergraduate Programs. Our overall mission is to, and it's the same as Edgewood ISD, is to graduate all scholars, college, career, and military ready by their expected graduation date. And in your the parents here, students here, your case, it's 2023. So 2023 is our GEARUP students' date of graduation, which is coming very fast. And so we want to do everything that we can to help them be college, career, and military ready by the time they graduate high school. And if they don't get there by graduation, we're available a year after they graduate high school as well. Kind of in a nutshell, some of the things that we're able to do is connect students to the resources. We have resources that come to us. Willie has resources that comes to us. He brings resources to us, and we're able to share that out. We find resources within the community. We work very closely with our counselor, social worker, parent liaison on our campuses to find resources for our students in case they need anything, that may come up in life. Advising, counseling, we try to meet with the students one-on-one every year, a couple times a year, or a couple times a year. Going over college counseling, career advising, you're really just trying to meet with them and just talk to them, see what's going on in their life, seeing how they're doing. And if we could try to, pick up their mood, we try to do that. Tutoring, we'll get into tutoring, but we do offer free tutoring service. that we'll get into. Mentoring, we also do have we have 2 mentoring programs in the district right now. We have a program through Big Brothers Big Sisters. Right now, that one's not too open, but we do have a mentoring program through Student Success Agency, which we'll talk about right now. And so if you're interested in that opportunity, that is for free online virtual mentoring. Please let us know after the presentation. And then social emotional check-ins, like I said, we try to meet with the students as much as we can, just seeing how they're doing, seeing what we can do to help them. Just try to be a friendly face for them to talk to.
Okay, so now we are going to go over some student support services that are on the campuses. And so the ones that are listed on this screen, they are the school counselors. So we have Kennedy's listed, Memorial's listed, and then the Fine Arts Academy counselor listed. So for Kennedy and Memorial, they are all assigned by Alpha, by last name. And then at the Fine Arts, since we're such a small campus, Miss Luna is our sole counselor. So of course, if there are any questions about the schedule, I know I have been talking to some students that they had like double classes, so the same class but at different times of the day, or they were missing a class altogether, or they just didn't even have a schedule. So if your student is still having issues with their schedule, these contacts are going to be the people that you're going to want to talk to for that. In addition to the academic side of counseling, of course, they're going to be there to support your students with that social and emotional part of it too. I know that school, you know how we've discussed, school kind of looks a little bit different this year because we're all virtual. We're not seeing our students right now, but the counselors are always available. I know Miss Luna, our counselor at the Fine Arts Academy, she has her Microsoft team and it's called the Counselors Corner. And so she added all of the students to her team. She chats with them all day long. If they have questions, they can directly message her. And I'm sure that it's the same at Memorial and Kennedy. So like I said, just really helpful people, very knowledgeable people to contact if you or your student has any questions. I know Kennedy has their social worker, and then Memorial has a social and emotional counselor as well. So lots of really awesome resources on campus for the students.
Okay, we also do work closely with our campus parent liaisons. And so if you're not familiar with the parent liaisons, they work strictly with the parents, try to provide them with as many resources as they can. And they work in district wide. And so like Miss Olvera, she's at Kennedy High School, but she's also at Brentwood. And so she's kind of in the community. And I know a lot of the parent liaisons are also split. And so these are there. Do we have any of the parent liaisons on the call?
No, not me.
No, parent liaisons. I don't think we have any on the call, but and that's okay. But these are their emails. Please take down their email because they're just another they're another resource for you to be able to reach out to if you need to reach somebody at school at your campus. If you need any kind of resource, they're also another good person to reach out to. They will be having a event this Friday, September 4th from 9 to 11 at Emma Fry. And so it's going to be a drive-through event. They'll be giving out they'll be giving out info on resources that they have available as well as a breakfast taco. So that is 9 to 11 this Friday, and you'll be able to meet all our parent liaisons for all of our campuses.
Hi, my name is my son goes to
Oh, hi, Miss. Okay.
Bella?
Okay.
Miss Bella, you broke up a little bit. Is there any way you could type that into the chat so that we can answer you? We couldn't hear you.
Okay, take it away, Stella.
Oh, is that for me? Sorry, okay. All right. So as far as the goals for this semester, we know that this semester is very different than previous semesters, but the most important thing is we want to make sure that your family, your students are still getting all of the resources available through the GEARUP program. And so again, most of this is going to be virtual, but we're going to try to make it as connected as possible. We're going to continue one-on-one advising. Usually before, your student was here on campus and we were able to either pull them in for small group or go visit them in their classes. We unfortunately won't be able to do that for now. Who knows what's going to happen in the future. But for now, we want to make sure that we're still having that one-on-one. So we will be doing one-on-one over Teams. If your student is having trouble with internet, then maybe we can do a phone call. So we're trying to kind of work that out. Right now, it's all through Teams. Each one of us has already had a student meeting where we did invite all of the students. We will continue to have those whole group, and then of course, smaller group one-on-one. Virtual college tours, because again, we can't take college tour visits. We will be providing some virtual college tours, and we actually were brainstorming maybe live streaming some college tours just to make it more interactive with students. So we will continue to have those opportunities for students to see various college campuses. Again, can't do it in person, but we will try to accommodate for that. We also are going to set up to have some virtual career speakers. And we actually sent out a poll already through Instagram. And I think we're probably going to send it out through Teams as well if your student doesn't have access to like a social media platform. So this way we can kind of see what it is they're interested in. Before we would have somebody come and we could either do like a career fair, or we would have like career speakers. Well, we obviously can't do that. And we want to continue to expose them to those career fields so that they can get an idea of what's out there and start thinking about what they'd like. So we took a poll. We've already got a good group of career professions that they're interested in. And we're going to begin to record some of those sessions, let your students pose questions. So again, they still get that experience, even though we can't do it in person. Throughout this first semester, we do have some student workshops planned to give them, information about budgeting, financial literacy. Some of them work, so this would be a good time to teach them about budgeting their money, being smart with their money, thinking about, again, college admissions, what exactly are colleges looking for. So just different workshops available to them, and as well as some workshops for parents as well. We have some topics for parent meetings as well. So just a couple of our goals for this semester, again, to make sure that your students and you are still receiving all of the support and the resources as if we were face to face in the hallways or having meetings in the auditoriums or cafeterias. So making sure we still fill that for you.
Okay, one of the big resources that we have available, we really want to push this. We really want all of our parents and students to know about it if they don't know about it already. Is tutor.com. So this is free online tutoring that's available 24/7 on demand. It's available for all of their subjects that they're studying right now. It's a free service that GEARUP provides our GEARUP students. And so this is kind of what the website does look like. And so the awesome thing about it, like I said, it's available 24/7. So if they're there, so our campuses do offer tutoring. And so if you haven't seen that schedule for tutoring, we can share that with you individually. So our campuses do offer tutoring, but if they're there like on a Sunday when there is no campus tutoring, they can log on here and access somebody and get help with the work that they need. The cool thing is if they wanted to schedule a session, they could. So I know our students have like time between like 2 and 4 o'clock that they have time to finish their assignments. If they wanted to schedule a session during that time, they could do that. They could submit papers for review. So if they have an English paper, a world history, geography paper that they need to do for a class, they can submit that. get some suggestions as far as how to better that paper. They're not going to correct all of the paper, and they're not going to do it for them. They're just going to give them suggestions of what they could do to make it better. But it's filled with a whole bunch of practice quizzes, prep for AP and pre-AP exams. It's a really good resource for our students to know about. For all of our students to log on, they have to go to this website. So if you want to take a picture of it, and we're also going to send out this presentation to the email list. But it's going to be tutor.com/TCBGearUp. Their username is their first name - last name. And their password is GEARUP, all caps, 2023. And so if any of the students have trouble logging in, please let us know so that we can fix it and make sure they're logging in. But this is a great resource, and we really want to stress it, especially this year during virtual learning.
So just a few more resources that are available to the students. Another one that we're really trying to push this school year is the Student Success Agency. So this one is more of a mentorship than it is tutoring. However, what they have in common is that it's 24/7 available all the time. So for example, if a student knows that they want to pursue some type of a therapy career or a therapy program when they go to school, but they're not sure if they want to do physical therapy or occupational therapy, they can talk to their mentor about what exactly the differences are between those two things, get more information that'll hopefully help them to decide which one they would want to do. So to kind of go off of that, they do provide like the career pathway and the major mentorship, things like that, to just provide more information for the students, more clarification, and even guidance if they're not too sure what type of career path they would be interested in. And then they also just help with just general mentorship, just, you know, being an extra person for the students to talk to ask questions to, things like that. So for Student Success Agency, while it is available to all of our students, they still have to sign up for a spot. So we do have spots available at all 3 campuses, so that's not an issue at all. It would just be a matter of the student reaching out to us so we can help them get connected with Student Success Agency. So if that's something that you would like your student to participate in, please encourage them to reach out to the coordinator on their campus so we can help them out with that. Another resource is the San Antonio Public Library. So unbeknownst to me, Stella figured out that they actually provide tutoring services as well at the San Antonio Public Library. So she included a little screenshot of what you can type into Google. So just San Antonio Public Library tutoring, and it's that first link. And they provide all types of tutoring for different subjects and things like that. So again, it's easy and free. And the nice thing about this one is that the public library tutoring isn't just for GEARUP students. So if you have students in middle school that are struggling with math, or a senior, or, you know, any grade, any of your students, it doesn't matter what grade they're in, they can all use the San Antonio Public Library's tutoring services. So really, really great resource for the whole family. And then the last one that we wanted to touch on, which I'm sure is one that you guys are all familiar with, is the Edgewood Parent Portal. So this is just a really good way to, I think, hold your student accountable, right? So as far as attendance and then their grades. So attendance is kind of looking a little bit different nowadays because we're virtual. So of course, you know, if things were back to normal, they would come into class, teacher would mark them off and send it into the attendance office, and then it would be counted that way. Now, or at least at the fine arts, I'm sure at all the high schools, attendance is a little bit more lenient. So, you know, if they just have to fill out a form or participate in an activity, turn in an assignment, all of those things can be considered attendance, good attendance for the students. But if you have any questions, if you're not really sure what your students' attendance looks like, you can always just access it through the portal. And then of course their grades as well. Now, another thing that's important to note is that for the parent portal, a student and a parent can have their own accounts, but they have to be separate. And a lot of that is just, you know, a good example that the parent liaison gave in the morning session was if the parent and the student are sharing an account, but you both get locked out of it somehow, then it's not like, you know, if you had one, you know, your student had an account and theirs didn't get locked out, you could still access it. But if you're sharing and you get locked out, then, you know, you're going to have to go through that whole process of trying to get, you know, the password reset and all of that stuff. So we highly recommend that you guys create 2 separate accounts. So the parent account and then the student account, and also encouraging the student to look at that too, to keep them accountable, to make them responsible, to make sure that they're taking care of their stuff too. And I think that's it for the resources.
So I tried to, sorry, Jesse. I tried to put in a picture of the attendance. It's an attendance 1-pager, just to kind of, so this way you can kind of see what is being counted for attendance. I don't know if you can click on it, but it is in there. And then the screenshot is, in order to get the access to the parent portal, you would just go to the EISD.net website. You would click on students and parents, and it takes you to this page. And on the right-hand side there with the little blue arrow, it says parent portal. It's a 2-step. First, you would have to create an account. And then second, you would have to request the portal ID, and that's given to you through the school. So again, if this is, if you haven't set up a parent portal yet and you'd like to, then definitely reach out to us, or you can actually, like, you know, go ahead and click on parent portal and it should take you through directions there. But if you have any trouble, we can help you with that.
I was also going to say with the grades and help keeping the students accountable, and I'm sorry, students, if you're on here, but parent, if you need help accessing your student's grades and you don't have parent portal, if you just want to reach out and see where your student is right now as far as their grades, and I know students don't like me saying this, but please reach out to us so that we can help you with that. Not to get students in trouble or anything like that. We want to make sure they're on top of all their classes and their grades. We want to see them succeed, and so not to get them in trouble or anything like that. But parents, if you do have questions about their attendance or grades, please also reach out to your coordinator. Sorry, student. Okay, so make sure to follow us on social media. We have Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. I will say we post more on the Twitter and the Instagram. Facebook is a little, we're a little behind on the Facebook, but for sure Twitter and Instagram. Instagram more for the students. I think we get more students off of Instagram than any of them. But for sure, we'll like events, parent meetings, any resources that we have, giveaways. We ask the students questions as far as like what they want us to do, as far as like an idea that was kind of pitched today was maybe we do a Instagram live at a college, and we go live at that college, and we have the students tell us where to go or what they want to see on the Instagram. So stuff like ideas like that. You know, we're kind of in a new space, and you know, we just got to try everything once and see how it goes and go from there. So for sure, follow us on our social media. Let me unshare really quick, and let me look at the chat. I know y'all have had a lot on the chat. Let's see. Okay, Stella's been.
Sorry.
Let's see. Is there any questions? My daughter had a mentor since being in the program. Does that continue? If she's in the Big Brothers Big Sisters program, then yes, that'll continue. For Miss Luna, are you on the call?
She's still on there?
I don't know if she is or not. We'll reach out to her.
Oh, she's right there. There she is.
Where?
I see her picture. There.
Oh, okay. Which campus is your son at, Miss Luna?
He's at Fine Arts.
Okay. So Natalie, Your son's name is?
No, he's talking to you.
Oh, me? He said Natalie.
Oh, sorry. Yes, Miss
My
Luna.
son's name is Manuel.
Manuel. Okay, Natalie worked with. He's got his name. We're gonna work on that. Let's see. Okay, does anybody have any questions, any concerns? Okay, so again, this is our contact information here in case you need to reach us by email, but you can also reach us by text or on Microsoft Teams, which is like the little messaging that the students have. That's been pretty good and pretty easy so far as well.
Mr. Alvarado.
Yes.
Yes, this is Robert Perez, Mateo Perez's father.
Yes.
Quick question. How is the GEARUP program going to support the students' career goals?
So
Other than the support from, like the tutoring, and I know y'all are set up to give them as much information as they can. But my question is pertaining to basically when they had their electives from the counselors, his cybersecurity goal program that he wanted wasn't on the list. So my concern was, I tried to go to the counselors, but I guess at that time, they weren't available. But my concern was if it wasn't available for my son, we had to go there and request the cybersecurity program. Then how many students didn't receive that information as well?
So I'm not sure how many students didn't receive that information or what the holdup there was. I can reach out to his counselor and dig a little bit deeper and see if there's anything we can do at this point. But so the thing is with GEARUP and high school in general, the students have their endorsements. And so the endorsements kind of prepare them for a career or for a field out past high school. If they're not in that endorsement for whatever reason, it doesn't mean that they still can't go into that field in college or after high school. And so, like if Mateo wants to do cybersecurity, UTSA has a really nationally renowned program for cybersecurity. We would work with him to see if maybe identify UTSA as a college or university that he would want to go to, or other programs in the city, because we are a pretty big tech hub as well in San Antonio. It's growing, and we have Port San Antonio right across the way from Kennedy. And so it's just kind of identifying places he can go, or on his off time, places you can take him to kind of grow that interest that he has in that career field. And so we're just talking to us, working one-on-one with him. And if that's something he wants to do, trying to find opportunities for him to be able to experience that so that he's sure that that's what he wants to do post high school. Does that kind of answer that question?
Yes, it does.
Okay.
Thank you.
And so, and for Mateo, I can reach out to the counselor and dig a little deeper as far as his situation.
Yeah, my only concern, like I said earlier, was that the cybersecurity was on any of the students' electives, so they can elect it. So my concern was not only for my son, is because my son that already graduated, he's already at Texas A&M for cybersecurity. We had to transfer him because there was no program at Kennedy. We had to transfer him to Memorial. So Mateo has the ability to go to get the cybersecurity endorsement for the high school at Kennedy. But my concern is how many other students didn't get that opportunity to choose that because they don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll reach out to his counselor and see what we can do on that.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
I am signed up in the parent portal, And I'm getting alerts as far as their grades, but my son's getting that he completed all those assignments, but yeah, I'm still getting alerts. Is there a way I could contact the teachers directly on that, or to find out what's going on? Why I'm getting alerts that they're all zeros, but he's doing the assignments.
Which campus are you at, ma'am?
Fine arts.
Okay. So then Natalie can for sure connect you with those teachers that your student has, just to make sure everything is where it's supposed to be if he's doing his work. And maybe that the teachers may be a little bit slow on inputting grades, but just to make sure Natalie can connect you with those teachers on his schedule.
Ms. Rodriguez, do you happen to know which teachers those are off the top of your head? Or what subjects?
I know one's like world history, and I've gotten some alerts from, I think biology. I'm not sure. I just got another alert right now on phone, an email right now saying I have another grade alert and stuff. And he's telling me he's completing everything, and he's never had an issue with his grades because he's in the AB classes and stuff. So he's real particular with his grades.
Okay, and you said that it was biology and world history?
I think, I know one of them was world history. I think the other one might have been biology. I'm not positive. I would have to double check on that. But I've gotten like a couple alerts from either zeros or their 50s.
Okay, so I know just as, you know, myself and the coordinators and I are all kind of trying to get used to this all over again, so are the teachers. And we actually do have a couple of new teachers here at Fine Arts. So, and by new, I mean like their first year teaching, they just graduated like in May and August. So they're like super, super new to this whole process. And I know that we have identified some issues like that as far as grades and inputting grades and even attendance and stuff like that. So I'm sure that it's just, you know, some type of like technical issue or misunderstanding or not putting in the grades correctly. But I can check on that for you. What was your student's name?
Nicholas Rodriguez.
Okay.
Okay. Let's see. Okay, so the next, and if anybody has questions, again, we'll stay afterwards as well. Next meeting we're gonna have is gonna be September 23rd. And our topic on that is gonna be how to support your 10th grader, what they should be doing or what they should aim to do this year to get them ready for junior year and beyond. And then is it too early to think about college visits? Kind of the short answer is no. But we're gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk about scholarships. Like I said, what you can do to support your 10th grade student this year to get them ready for junior year and beyond. Stella is going to talk about this.
Yeah, our parent survey. So we just want to say thank you, parents. We know that you're all busy. We really appreciate you taking the time to partner with us to make sure that your student has everything they need. And I know the parent that asked earlier about, you know, these endorsements and my child's interested in this certain field. This survey is going to serve two purposes. One is it's going to tell us how we can improve our parent meetings. And then it's also going to ask you for suggestions. You know, we do have parent meetings set up from here to December. We have topics that we think that would benefit you. But in this survey, this is really going to give us a chance to hear from you, what you would like to hear, what is it that you need from us. And then again, you know, how we can improve. So this survey is really important for those two parts. You can take a picture of it. There's a QR code. If you can't get the QR code, just send us a little text. And this way, you know, we can get you a link. But it's really important to us. We don't want to waste your time. We don't want you to sit in a 45-minute meeting and walk away and say, well, that was useless. I didn't get anything out of that. We want to make sure your time is valuable. And so we want to make sure that we are talking about things that you're interested in and we're answering your questions. So if you did have questions that you didn't get answered or you think of something later, please know we are always here through multiple ways, texting, calling, email, to answer whatever questions you have. And just a little token of our appreciation, we are going to have a little drawing. We do have a couple of gift cards, some books. So we have a couple of like raffle drawings. So when you do complete your survey, we'll get those names and we're gonna pick a couple people. I think we have at least 3 to give a little prize to. And we have a couple of parents that couldn't meet at these times because they're working. And we are working to offer something a little bit later for after work for everybody else. So we're gonna announce winners September 8th, which gives enough time for anybody who couldn't meet us today to watch the recorded session. And there, Jesse, thank you. There's also the survey in the chat, and we will be announcing the winners. You get your name on our social media saying that you won a little something for joining with us. And we also will be contacting you by email or phone. So please make sure that those are current, up to date, so we can contact you. And again, just thank you.
So that's our meeting for today. Thank you so much for attending. We are doing school supply drive-through tomorrow as well. So between 11 and 4 is at Kennedy. I believe the same at Memorial.
Yeah, 11 and 4.
So if you haven't received your supplies, students will also be receiving their GEARUP face mask, if they come through the drive-through as well. So thank you.
Real quick, there were a couple more questions in the chat. Miss Luna, your question about attendance. So yes, they do get checked in during the WINS classes in the morning at 9. But to get attendance for their other classes, usually, like I mentioned earlier, the teacher will have them fill out a form where they just type in like their name and the date, the ID number. Other teachers have a small assignment. Other teachers will just tell them, like drop an emoji in the chat for attendance purposes, things like that. So that might be the issue. So while yes, he is attending WINS and getting the attendance counted there, he still needs to make sure that he's doing whatever, he or she, is doing whatever attendance assignment that the teacher is asking for. And I know that that can get kind of confusing and kind of hard to follow because it's not uniform all the way across the board. Like I just mentioned, you know, teachers are counting attendance in different ways. But that might be the issue as far as getting counted absent for the electives.
And then Miss Davila, I can connect you to Miss Olvera, the parent liaison. She's a parent liaison between Brentwood and Kennedy, so I can connect you with her for Parent Portal. But if there's no other questions, like I said, please reach out to us if you do have any questions or anything else comes to mind. We really appreciate this time. Please be safe. Thank you all for attending, and we'll see you at the next meeting.